Hello, my gorgeous people. Grace here, Bicodonia. I am in Australia. As you know, I've been here for about 2 weeks now. Time has been absolutely flying. So I have been fanging around on the good old DR650, the workhorse of overland travelers, and it has not let me down. It's a great bike if you need to get from A to B, and sometimes it's through the forest and sometimes it's on the highway. This bike will do all the things. So I'm so grateful for my awesome friend Jock for lending me this bike. He only just bought it. It's secondhand, but he just bought it. And before he even got to ride it around the block, he's lent it to me so that I can go and catch up with some awesome people around the southern part of Queensland. So it's been awesome. I headed down from Kilkheven, down along the dirt roads towards Brisbane the other day. There were kangaroos everywhere. It was an overcast morning, and kangaroos to my left, kangaroos to my right, kangaroos in front of me. And so that was a strangely familiar experience. So I obviously haven't had to dodge kangaroos in the last 5 years, but before that, I did spend a lot of time dodging them and sometimes hitting them as I traveled around Australia. So here we are yet again, trying not to hit any kangaroos. It's super nice to be out in the bush again. The Australian bush has a particular kind of smell. It's almost a little bit spicy from that eucalypt oil in the leaves of the gum trees, and it's really kind of nostalgic. So tonight I'll be back up in Kilkheven at Handlebar Haven, where my friends Annie and Jock have this great campground for anyone on a motorcycle. It's completely free. You get to come along on your motorbike, join the family, roll out your swag. Tonight we're going to have a big bonfire, so there's going to be bonfires, sausage sizzle, hamburgers. I don't know what we're having. Probably bacon and eggs in the morning for breakfast. I reckon there's going to be a few hangovers after tonight's festivities. It should be a scream. So I've been having an absolutely fantastic time catching up with all of these people from Australia that I used to go riding with, that I used to hang out with. It has been absolutely awesome. I've been spoilt rotten. So I went out with my old riding group the other day from Sydney. We used to go riding together back when I was a lawyer and I rode sports bikes. On a Sunday, we would head out over the mountains west of Sydney and hit the twisties. And that's exactly what we did again. We got this glorious spring day. The air was pretty fresh, but the sun was warm, the sky was blue, and we were just out there together riding again, and it was just fabulous. And, it was kind of nostalgic as well because a lot of people were still riding the same bikes, a lot of people still had the same jackets, and so it was like taking a little walk down memory lane. So I totally, absolutely love that. Back up here in Queensland, I'm catching up with people that I actually met for the first time when I was traveling through here after I left Sydney. So at the beginning of my trip, I started out in Sydney and I started riding north through Queensland. And then I went through Western Queensland, the Northern Territory, and I shipped out of Darwin into Asia. But on my way through, right at the beginning of my trip, I met these amazing people. So many people were just like, listen, you can come camp in my front garden, or I've got a bed for you, or if you need tools, you can come use my shed. And, I took so many people up on these offers, and they have become friends for life. I've also been catching up with people down in Brisbane. So Jock lent me the bike and said, have a good time. So I rode down the dirt roads all the way down to Brizzy. So I caught up with one particularly awesome bloke who helped me rewire my indicators on the KTM on my way through Queensland. And ever since, he's sort of been my technical brains trust. He's really good at explaining technical concepts and material sciences to me. And so a lot of the time when I've been on the road somewhere in Asia, I'll call him up and I'll be like, hey, mate, what's the tool I need for this? How should I approach this problem? What do you think is going on here? So we've stayed in touch all this time and it was awesome to catch up. We had a pub lunch and he set me back on the road again with lots of good information and a few extra bits of equipment. So I am super stoked about that. And then I also went and caught up with Ma, and Ma is a very impressive Spanish lady. She's living here in Brizzy right now, but she's originally a Spanish racer. The girl, she rides trials, she races road, and she races off road. She does everything. She has talent. Like just going down to the shops with her, going around a corner, it's like girl knows how to turn a corner. Dang. So anyway, Ma is going to come to Thailand and ride enduro with me and another friend of ours in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be sensational. I think she has a lot to teach me. I've certainly got a lot to learn. So I'm super looking forward to that. Today, I've just had a lazy morning. I'm at another friend's house where I was invited to spend the night on my way back north again, and I've been regaled with great company, good food, and a comfortable bed, and I could not ask for any more. So the moto community in Australia is really warm-hearted, the same as the moto community all around the world. I mean, I am constantly humbled and impressed by how awesome people are to each other within this interest-based community. So big shout out to everyone who goes out of their way to help another person out. It makes the world go round, and it certainly gets people like me around the world as well. So I'm about to head off for this bonfire. It's going to be a good night. There's no footage of me riding in Australia because I think my GoPro is toast. I thought the problem was the batteries. I thought the batteries were toast. I bought some new batteries for it, and still we have no luck. So I may be in the market for another action cam, or we may not be seeing a lot of me. I'm going to get the GoPro looked at in Sydney when I go back just to see if it really is toast, and then I'll go from there. All right, I will catch you later.